Good morning. I'm Charles Kuralt, and this is Sunday Morning. You know how television works. We talk, you listen. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can switch over to Oral Roberts, and then he talks, you listen. You can talk back to the television set, but nobody hears you but your cat. That may change someday. Here's Richard Threlkeld.
Our cover story this Sunday morning comes from Columbus, Ohio. It's a story about television. And if that sounds a little self-serving, that's only because you're used to that old-fashioned kind of TV. We show and tell, you watch and listen. In Columbus, the TV works the other way. You can tell television what to do, or where to get off, for that matter, with just the touch of a button. We'll touch on all that in just a few minutes. And Charlie, you'll especially want to watch this, because if what they're showing here catches on, we may all be looking for work.
Richard Threlkeld's cover story reveals the television in your future in a moment here on Sunday Morning.
The silent majority is a phrase you don't hear so much anymore. It seems to me that everybody in America is talking all the time, clamoring for attention even. Probably that's the sign of a healthy society, one that's alive with ideas. Talking is one thing, however, and being heard is another. How can the ordinary citizen be heard? That's as important a question as a democracy can ask itself, and it is the subject of Richard Threlkeld's Sunday Morning cover story.
The man we call is Sullivan, Emerson's hope to the top of the top.
It hasn't changed, really, in 30 years. Television's given us Ed Sullivan or the soap operas or the news. We give the TV our attention or turn it off. That's it. Not the best of bargains. If the medium is the message only goes one way for most of us.
The home audience chose number 4, Bright and Lively. All right, so home audience, you've chosen Bach music, and you've chosen the first movement vocabulary, which is turns and jumps, and you want me to perform it bright and lively.
In Columbus, Ohio, they are inventing a dance on TV. The choreographers are the folks at home. In Columbus, you don't just give television your attention, you can give it orders.
Your guest, Fran Lee, was quite a tough cookie last night.
You noticed?
Button number 1, if you would like Fran to come back and join us, please.
That was last night. We got the results? Do you want Fran Lee back?
Yes.
Oop, look at that. It was close, but no Fran Lee.
No Fran Lee.
All right, well, that's the way it works. Welcome to Columbus Live.
It's Touch Now television, and this little box with all the buttons is the way it works. With this little box, you can make sure Fran Lee never comes back to visit us, or tell off your city councilman, or take a test, or watch any one of 30, that's right, 30 different channels, all broadcasting at once from this master control room. Anything you want, just push the buttons. Touch Now. 30 channels, movies and drama and sports and music and TV classrooms and foreign language programs and programs for the kids and public affairs and all the network programs and even some late-night blue movies for the adults. All brought to you, usually without commercials, from Qube, a word that doesn't stand for anything in particular except maybe money. The $20 or $30 million Warner Communications has poured into the most spectacular cable TV system in the world, and the millions the Warner people hope to make someday by wiring the whole country up with Touch Now television.
How many of you harbored the desire to be a model? Did you feel the way I did, that it would be just wonderful to grow up and be a model? Touch button number 1 if you did.
Qube is an experiment, and Columbus the laboratory, a cornucopia of gadgets and gimmicks and choice of channels that makes what the rest of us watch on TV, All in the Family and Laverne and Shirley, seem as outdated as Howdy Doody.
We want to know what people want to see, fulfill their dreams if you like, offer them operas and ballets and symphonies if that's what they like, anything at all to please them, and then determine what our ultimate service will be.
Gustav Hauser is Qube's dream merchant, the head of the Warner Cable Corporation. He argues that the big TV networks have nothing to fear from Qube, that there's enough audience to go around.
By giving people choice, I think what we're doing is certainly in the public interest. Now, you may ask, what will happen to poor Laverne and poor Shirley?
And or poor ABC or poor CBS.
No one has ever, I believe, no one has ever used the word poor in connection with any of those three letters. I don't think it's going to have any major effect on the television networks, because we find from our research that we are creating additional audiences. We're not looking for large audiences. We're trying to serve what I'll call minority interest audiences.
Well, maybe, but one thing the research has discovered is that once you get one of those little Qube boxes wired into your living room, you are hooked.
I might pick up the console and just scan what's available to watch. And then something will pop up, like, is the answer number 1, 2, or 3? And I'll know, so I've got to get it right. And once I start, then I just kind of hang in there till the next one comes up.
Mike and Jan Fitzpatrick have been hooked on Qube ever since it got started a couple of years ago. We picked them out of a list of subscribers Qube gave us and sat with them one night to watch Qube Forum, an issues and answers program. Qube supplies the issues, the audience comes up with the answers.
The question will be, should the possession and use of marijuana be legalized? Button 1 would be for yes, button 2 would be no, button 3 would be undecided. Touch now.
Button 1.
3 and cocaine.
High school kids aren't going to be criminals because they tried marijuana.
Yes.
Yes.
Button 2.
Is there something about it about talking back?
That's everything. I think everybody alive wants to be heard from. If somebody's looking for an opinion, you're really inclined to give your opinion. And if it goes in and is compared with other people's opinions, you're really interested to see how you think compared to the way other people think.
Qube is habit forming, but there is a price. In dollars and cents, it is dirt cheap. One of the little Qube trucks will come around and put in the little Qube box for about $20. It could cost you as little as $10 or as much as $40 a month after that, depending on how much you want to watch.
We watched Rocky 4 times in 2 days, and we all watched it. It would have cost us a half a Brinks truck to go do that at the theater.
But there is another price, not so easy to calculate. What makes Qube work is this master computer. Every Qube subscriber is wired into it. Every 6 seconds, it sweeps 850 miles of cable to see who is tuned in, what they're watching, and how they're answering questions. It is all in the computer. The price you pay for Qube is your privacy. And there are some civil libertarians, like Professor Arthur Miller of Harvard, who say that price may be too high.
Once these large databases concerning my viewing habits, my listening habits, my attitudes, which of course are reflected in what I watch and what I think about. Once I know there is that file out there, that computerized file, I have a sense of being surveilled, and that is a civil liberties problem. That is an anti-democratic phenomenon. I don't know what this company is going to do with that data.
We're very sensitive to this issue, and as a result, we do not recognize anyone's individual response to any kind of question that may be put. And remember, answers are purely voluntary. No one is compelled to participate.
But what's the guarantee that you wouldn't someday sell or give even that particular private information away?
Well, what guarantees that the telephone company will not sell a list of every phone call you made, or that the credit card company will not sell a list of every purchase you made, which is just about a profile of your life?
Somebody is going to come along sooner or later and say, hey, you have a tremendous amount of information that we can use for mail advertising. And that will present a very attractive carrot to this company.
But that doesn't seem to cause Columbus any insecurity. In fact, one of the things Qube is selling is security. Now you can buy a whole collection of little boxes hooked up to the Qube computer to protect your home from burglars or robbers or fire. For a price, the computer will watch your house or even watch you every second to make sure everything's all right and sound a warning and let somebody know if it is not.
Here we are. Now we're gonna. I didn't know you were going to go that far, Bill.
It is intriguing to watch Qube get off the ground. It's like watching television get started 30 years ago. Qube is by turns slick and corny. It hasn't decided yet what it wants to be. The Warner people have bought up 140 cable franchises around the country, small ones mostly. Before Qube can wire up New York and Los Angeles, it will have to decide what it wants to be. Right now, it's everything. Too much, really. You have the feeling neither the people who own Qube nor the people who watch it really know what to do with it all.
The Olentangy Opus No. 1, performed by Peggy Lyman to the music of Vivaldi and made by the viewers of Qube.
Maybe there are just too many buttons to push on Qube's TV set for people who've gotten used to just pushing on and off all these years. Is America ready for Qube? Answer yes or no. Touch now.